Hey guys, welcome back to Globetrekker Gaming. Today we'll be moving on to part 13 of our gameplay of Suzerain. Let's get going. So in the last part, I met with Marcel Caranti, who owns like this giant, I believe it's like a media and like a few other industry conglomerate, and kind of made a rather shady deal where we won't meddle in his affairs, but he's going to kind of spin the media in my guy's favor. I don't really like it. I kind of maybe regret doing it, but the decision's been made, and I apparently owe him a favor down the road. So we'll see where it goes. But deal's been done, so gotta move on and see where it goes. So I'm guessing over here, this is probably what it's gonna have for the economy situations. Oh, monetary in action. Never mind. I guess okay, yeah, I guess, never mind. I thought it would say something about, like, you know, like, my connection with him or something. Might be over here, if you see, Oh, these are just different, like, factions and everything, so... okay, anyway, I guess we'll move on there. So, I think I saw over this city here, that's Dire. I don't think we've done anything there before. The funeral of Bernard Circus. Oh, yeah, he was the member of Parliament who passed away when there was that shooting at the inauguration. So, yeah, I guess that's the thing to go here. So, the death has shocked the country, and his funeral will be held in Dire among a large crowd of sympathizers. He was not only a communist poet, but also an elected MP that had a voice. A state funeral has been organized to honor him. The question is whether the president and the administration will attend the funeral. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty sad overall, but yeah, I'm definitely going to attend because I think it'll help promote a message of unity, even if he was in the opposing wing of the parliament. So I'm going to attend there. See if it has anything on the news about it. Nope, still the freeway. Actually, this might be the... Yeah, I guess here's the funeral here, so I guess we'll be attending that. So, dark clouds were looming over Dire. They looked daunting as our convoy started approaching the century-old cemetery. It looked like it was going to rain, certainly fitting weather for a funeral. As expected, Bernard's Circus is passing maintained its media traction, and all of Sordland was paying attention, especially to what I would say in my speech today. Sir, we have arrived. Oh, I like kind of how it's got like the raindrops with it. It really kind of adds on to the aura of the story, kind of. So raindrops were running down the car window when Serge opened my door and held an umbrella over my head. As soon as I got out, flashes from the cameras blinded me. It's okay, Serge. I will hold my own umbrella. I'm just gonna say thank you. It's my duty, sir. He silently started following me while holding the umbrella. Petter and Carl exited from their own cars. Anton? Mr. President? I just wanted to inform you that the perimeter is clear and secured completely. There's no one getting in or out without our knowledge. We don't want something similar happening again. You better be right for your sake. I'm just gonna say good work. Thank you, Carl. That seems, you know, we're not trying to start, you know, drama. So Carl bowed his head with respect. Good, if anything happens to Antoine, you will have to answer to the First Lady. And trust me, Carl, you don't want that. Petter let out a laugh, which drew some attention from bereaved attendees. Petter, you're being inconsiderate. I don't think any of us want that. Gesture, Petter. You're the only one who can make me laugh at a funeral. I'm just gonna say that. It seems like I don't want to, like, scold him in front of everyone, but I don't want to, like, make light of it either, so I think that's a good response. So several unintelligible voices were heard from Carl's radio. He stepped out to reply. We have a small problem, sir. A few, 5 to be exact, Red Youth members are here to attend the funeral. They apparently said they wish to pay their respects to the fallen comrade. Should we let them in? Ooh, this is a hard one. You know, I'm just gonna say let them in. Let's promote unity with it. As you command. Let's head over. They're about to start. Hopefully this isn't one where, you know, it could make, you know, it could, change the course of the story there. I figure it could be like something, well, oh, you let them in and they cause a problem or something, but I think just letting them in would probably be a good thing for this one. So we walked towards the crowd, circled around the grave. Everyone in attendance was wearing black and mourning. The rain started pouring heavily. Bernard's widow and daughter were in the front row, staring at the coffin with a mixture of disbelief, confusion, and above all, a cold, unforgiving sadness. Both of their eyes were very red and swollen. Before taking my place to observe the ceremony, I gave my condolences to Bernard's wife and his daughter, who looked at me. She reminded me of Deanna. When the religious ceremony was done, I was invited by the priest to deliver my speech. I took the podium, I felt like I had a lump in my throat, I couldn't get the daughter's eyes out of my head. Today we are mourning Bernard Circus, a father, a husband, and a loyal servant of the country. Towards the back of the crowd, I spotted the members of the Red Youth wearing red shirts and black bands and mourning on their arms. They seemed truly and were respectfully bowing their heads. There was complete silence except for the sound of raindrops. It is a great loss for all of us. I'll confess that I disagreed with Bernard Circus almost entirely, but that doesn't mean he deserved this. Regardless of an ideology, this was a heinous act made towards a good man. We must end this cycle of violence. He was a true comrade and he fought for what he believed in, his ideal vision of Sordland in every step of his life. I'm gonna go with that one, because I'm trying to really promote the message of unity, so... you know, I feel like this is the best one, despite the political differences. We will make sure that unfortunate events such as this never happen. Circus had a dream of a unified Sordland. These next months we need to fulfill his dream. I interpret this attack as an attack against Sordland. I promise you, the blood of Bernard will not remain on the sacred grounds. I'm gonna say this one. That seems like, again, the message of unity that I've been saying. Let us all mourn the passing of Bernard Circus, remember him well. But hatred begets hatred. There's only one way to overcome this vicious cycle. We must unite against the evil. The tears of the family he left behind have a price that needs to be paid. I will not stop until it is paid in full. Trying to think. I think that's another message of unity, as I've been saying like 20 times here. I would now like to recite one of the poems he left us. Our only strength is the will to survive. We will rise towards the sun. Those who died fighting. They are now buried in the sun. They did not let us sing our songs. They are afraid of the dawn. I'm gonna say that one here. A moment of silence, please. During the silence, all that was heard were the ravens. Some attendees started clapping, some crying. The coffin was lowered into the grave by the gravekeepers. After a couple minutes, Bernard Circus was with the soil no more. As we bid farewell to Bernard, I want to close with the words every sword lives by, a Morgna Westcore. I think that's good. Everyone replied, Vector insists da. With applauses, I stepped down from the podium. It was time to leave. The widow thanked me with a soft and defeated voice before we dispersed. On my way back to the car, I still couldn't get the eyes of Bernard's daughter, nor the faltering voice of his wife out of my head. Would Deanna, Monica, and Frank look the same way if something happened to me? That's depressing. Petter put his hand on my shoulder. That was a good speech. I sensed only respect from his voice. I'm just gonna nod. Come on, it's time to go. We've got work to do. He was right, we had work to do, so much more to do. I realized that the rain had stopped, and I looked up. The black clouds slowly dispersed, and sunbeams enlightened our surroundings. That's, ironic timing. As someone once said, even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Hope was still on the horizon. Yeah, I feel like I've said this every time, but, yeah, that's definitely, you know, trying to get kind of the, you know, novel, poetic, you know, basically how this is trying to be like a book almost. Like, I feel like that was something that you'd see in like a book you'd read in like high school or something. So, yeah, that was overall it was a pretty depressing segment here. But I think that was a really good one to try to, you know, promote the message of unity and stop kind of the, you know, political violence going on in the country. So, yeah, I think that's going to end it for part 13. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and stick around for part 14. Thanks again.